people of Standard 10th. Welcome to DAV Moyle Public School. Yes, in this video, we will be discussing some activity which is based on the concept of electricity, or rather an activity which will be required frequently when you will study practicals, and it will even help you out in theory examination. Now, certain activities we will discuss like least count, what are errors, positive and negative error, though won't go in full-fledged because it is not there in your syllabus, but some phenomena of 1 or 2 marks are being asked frequently every now and then in your board examination, and it is even required in practical purpose. So we will discuss something, and at the end of this some certain questions are there which you have to understand and solve it. Now, what do you mean by least count? So least count, it is simply the word itself speak rather. Least count. The smallest reading of an instrument, that is the least count. Least count. If any instrument is there, whatever least quantity that we can measure, that is the least count. So the least count of an instrument is the smallest measurement that we can take accurately with it. So this is, for an instance, is a ruler scale. The shortest or the smallest measurement that I can take from this ruler, that will be called as the least count. Now, another thing that which is related to least count, that is range of an instrument. Now, range of an instrument, it is the value between the minimum measurable value and the maximum value that can be measured, is called the range of an instrument. Minimum value, that is the least count, and the maximum value that we can measure from an instrument. So the value in between least count and the maximum value that we can measure, that would be a range of an instrument. So for an instant, this is a ruler scale. Now I have to find minimum value that I can measure from this ruler scale. So what I need to do, I have to use a formula, that is a least count. The more precise formula you will come to know when you will study in 11th standard how to find out least count with certain different apparatus. Now for an instant, this is a ruler. You have to find out smallest smallest number from this smallest measurement that you can make from this number, least smallest measurement that you can make from this instrument. Now least count, that is for an instant 0 and 1. So the difference between 1 and 0 would be 1. Now another number, that is 2 and 1. So difference would be, how to take out difference, that is final minus initial, that would be 2 minus 1 would be again 1, 3 minus 2, again it would be 1, 4 minus 3, 1, 5 minus 4, 1, and so on. So the difference between these two numbers is 1, and the number of small lines, that is known as number of divisions. So number of division between these two numbers, if you count properly, would be 10. This is small line is there, that is number of division. So that is number of division. So that small line, if we count, it will come out to be 10 in this case. So what would be the least count? So the difference between 0 and 1 would be 1. So 1 divided by number of small division would be 10. Either you can use the first formula, that is scale, or the range of a reading divided by number of division, scale or the range of reading, or you can use the formula difference in between two reading divided by number of small division. Either any one you can follow. Since we are talking about this difference 0 minus 1, so I'm using this formula, difference in two reading 0 minus 1 upon number of small division. Number of small division would be number of small line between 0 and 1, that is 10. So 1 upon 10, it would be 0.1 centimeter. So that 0.1 is the least count of this instrument. So 0.1, that is the minimum smallest measurement that I can make from this ruler. If I say my reading is suppose 0.01, that my reading would be wrong. Why is it so? Because the least count of this instrument is 0.1. So anything, if I'm measuring 0.001 from this instrument as a reading, that reading would be considered as a wrong, because the least count is 0.1. Only 1 decimal place is there. So the least count of this ruler is 0.1 centimeter. As you can see, this is a unit which is measured in centimeter. So whatever things you are getting from this least number, difference between two number upon number of small division, whatever thing you are getting, that would be least count. Hold on for a second. And unit would be centimeters. So the least count of this ruler would be 0.1 centimeter. Now, same thing what I told, least count of a ruler, that is difference 1 minus 0 upon number of small division, that are 10. 1 minus 0 is 1. Upon 10, it would be 0.1 centimeter. So the least count of a ruler is 0.1 centimeter. Now, something about errors. Whatever errors are there, basically you will understand this concept error more precisely in 11th standard, but glimpses of which some parameters or some small thing which are required at this level, we will discuss only that part, that is zero error. Now zero error means if this is an instrument, your needle is there and certain ranges are there, that is 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. Since the needle is exactly at 0, if I switch on the circuit, the needle is exactly at 0. If I close the circuit, if there is no any sources as such, there is no electrical device, no any potential difference created, so the needle is exactly at 0. So this would be called as a zero error. In the similar manner, if there is no any external source, if I does not put any external devices or does not give any external power supply to a device, if the needle is pointing towards certain value, that is, it is going beyond a certain number, that number would be called as a positive number, positive error rather, positive zero error rather. Now, if the needle is beyond the 0 position, this is a 0, it is, the needle is exactly at this position, that error would be called as negative zero error. Now, positive error, when needle is towards the right of the 0, it is called as a positive zero error. So zero errors are of two types, positive zero error and a negative zero error. So zero errors are always subtracted from a value. Whatever quantities you are measuring, whatever distance you are measuring, that quantity will be subtracted from a positive error of an instrument. In the similar manner, negative errors, when needle is towards the left of the 0, this is the origin 0, if you can consider as a mean position, whatever thing which is towards the right of the 0 is termed as a positive error, and whatever things which is towards the left of 0, it is termed as negative error. This is right left, you can understand with the mean position of negative error are always added from a value. Whatever quantities you are measuring from this error instrument, negative error are added to a certain value. Since negative errors are always difficult to remove, why is it so? Because there are no any magnitudes which are related in this device. So negative error are very difficult to remove, whereas positive error can be removed with the help of calculations. Now, certain questions are there. This question have been asked in your board exam. Consider scale of a voltmeter shown in the diagram and answer the following question. This is the question which has been given. Now, the voltmeter needle is exactly over here. Since whatever I have told, I won't be telling any answer for this question. You have to solve and answer it. So, in this device, in this voltmeter, you have to find out what is the least count of this voltmeter and what is the reading shown by the voltmeter. Least count of this voltmeter, first thing you have to find out, and the second thing, that is what is the reading of this voltmeter. This is the reading. The needle is pointing towards this number, so what is that reading you have to find out, and least count of this voltmeter. Now second question, this is a milliammeter device, rather ammeter, which is used to measure current, whereas voltmeter, it is used to measure potential difference. Now here also you have to find certain things like least count of this ammeter and identify which type of error. Here in this case you have to identify what is the error in this instrument. This needle is pointing towards certain direction, so you have to find out what is that error and how it can be removed. How this error can be removed, you have to find out. Now question 3 is again a diagrammatic representation have been given. The rest position of the needle in a millimeter and voltmeter. This is a MA, which stands for millimeter, and V stands for voltmeter. A certain scale have been given. So here in this scale you have to find out the rest position of a needle is given in millimeter as well as in voltmeter. When not being used in a circuit as shown in the figure, The question says the rest position of needle in millimeter and voltmeter when not being used in a circuit are as shown in the figure. The zero error and the least count of these two instruments are, you have to find out. You have to find out least count as well as zero error of both milliammeter and voltmeter. So I hope you have understood this activity. Thank you and have a